Hi students, it's Miss Myers, and in this video we're going to talk about ancient India's caste system. And the caste system is their social structure, and in grapes it's considered social class. Ancient India's social structure is called the caste system. So same thing as social class here. Now, let's take a look at our pyramid. Now, I told you in the grapes video that we would use these pyramids as a visual. This is just a way to help you connect the dots with social structure. And so the Aryan civilization came to the Indus River Valley, and the blending of the Aryans and the Indians, they developed the religion of Hinduism, which we talked about in the religion video. And Hinduism supports the caste system. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. It revolves around 4 major social classes. Now you're going to see that there are 5 here. The untouchables, which is at the very bottom, was actually so low that they did not consider them as part of the caste system, even though they were a class of people. And the untouchables, also called the Dalit, were a group of people that were given the worst jobs. They were considered outcast in society, and they did the jobs that nobody else wanted to do and received really harsh treatment. The bottom of the 4-class system is the Sudra. And these are your commoners, peasants, and servants. Next, we move up to the Vaishya, merchants, landowners. Merchants are people that sell goods or exchange goods and services. Kshatriya are the warriors and kings, and Brahmin at the very top consisted of priests, which are people that are in charge of the church, leaders in the church, and academics, so leaders in education, scholars, educated people. And at the very top, above all classes, are the gods. They were considered higher than any person or caste on earth. Now, these divisions of social classes were really strict, and the people stayed in the same caste that they were born in. So you were born into a caste, whatever your parents are. If your parent is a farmer, then you are going to be born into that caste, and when you grow up, you will be a farmer too. And there's no way to get out of the caste that you're born into except through reincarnation, which we talked about in the religion videos. That's where you die and you are reborn again as something else. Depending on how you lived your life when you were alive on earth, whether it was good or bad, would determine how you are reincarnated. And so the caste system was very, very strict, and you were expected to stay in your caste. You could not marry someone out of your caste. Most of the time, you could not even socialize with people that weren't in your caste. So what I want to do in this video is actually show you guys an Instructomania video that you can view on YouTube, but it's also in the slides here, so you can go back and watch this again. But in this video, I'll actually show you the video on here, and we'll watch that. And at the end of the video, we will wrap up the conversation on the caste system. So you guys are going to enjoy this. In our class, we actually do an activity where we will be in different caste systems, and it's really fun. It's probably one of the most interesting topics in ancient history that ancient India that we talk about. So let's go ahead here and click on this video from Instructomania, which we use a lot in our class on social
This video
classes.
will detail in what ways the ancient Indians were divided into social classes, and in what ways social classes of ancient India reflected the attitudes, beliefs, and needs of ancient Indian society. The term social classes through a historian's lens means how a civilization is divided into classes that have different roles, responsibilities, and privileges. For example, most ancient civilizations are ruled by kings and governed locally by nobles. A working class of farmers and laborers made up most of the population, and in some cases, the lowest class were slaves. How were the people of ancient India divided into social classes? The Aryans brought the caste system to ancient India, creating a strict social ladder. Each group was a different varna, or social class in ancient India. Let's take a closer look at each varna in order, from the most to the least significant in India's society. The Brahmins, or top social class, were priests, scholars, and later, Hindu gurus or teachers. Next were the Kshatriyas, or the upper middle class, who were kings and warriors. The Vaishyas, or the middle class, made up businessmen, traders, and farm owners. The Shudras were servants, or unskilled farmers, considered inferior to the other castes mentioned above. Lastly, at the bottom, were the Dalit, or untouchables, who were laborers that did the lowest and worst of jobs. Though they were not slaves, they were considered unclean and were often forced to live outside of villages. While it's unfair, once a person is born into one of 5 groups, they have little to no chance of moving into different varnas. People were prohibited to marry outside of their own varna. They lived in communities with each other and were often forbidden to mingle with other varnas. In what ways did social classes of ancient India reflect the attitudes, beliefs, and needs of ancient India society? The highest social class, the Brahmins, were those directly connected with Hinduism. They were religious scholars who sought knowledge and heightened spirituality or enlightenment. The word Brahmin has its root in the name Brahman, the universal being of Hinduism, of which all Hindu deities are connected. In the Hindu religion, Dharma are the duties of each caste member. Dharma gives direction for each varna on how to live their lives in the best way. If life is not lived in the best way, Hindus believe that the spirit of a human or animal gets reincarnated into or reborn into a host of a different social class. This aspect of their religion further reinforced the caste system to India's population. The middle class consisted of merchants and farm owners, reflecting the importance of trade and agriculture throughout India's history. Test your knowledge. In this game, you'll try to predict the varna to which the character belongs based on their actions. First, quickly familiarize yourself with the varna members and their roles. This is Rishi. Based on his actions, to which ancient Indian social class or varna does he most likely belong to? Is he a Brahmin, a Kshatriya, a Vaishya, or Shudra? That's right, he's farming, which means he's most likely a Shudra. This is Samir. Based on his actions, to which ancient Indian social class or varna does he most likely belong? Is he a Brahmin, a Kshatriya, a Vaishya, or Shudra? That's right, he's exchanging goods, which means he's most likely a Vaishya. As you can see from the game, each social class in ancient Indian society performed different roles in order to fit the needs of the civilization. Consider this. In what ways are different roles needed in order for our society, your community, or even your school to function? Be prepared to support your answer with examples.
All right, guys. Let me transition back to our slides here. Here we go. Alrighty, so in conclusion of the video, well, there we go. He asked you about in what ways do these social classes and the caste system influence society. So let's think about this, okay? So let's talk about modern day society and how we can compare ancient Indian caste system to today. So if you look at the caste system, I guess let's go back to the pyramid here and how we talk about how you're born into a caste and you have to stay in that caste, and and it may not seem fair that some people are in a lower caste than other people. But the important thing to note is that every person in society is needed. And so all of these different castes, they're all needed. We need people to do every type of job, and we need people to serve in every class in society. And that's what makes the whole civilization complete, is to have people that are doing every different job. And so it's the same today when we look at, obviously, we have some different responsibilities and roles in even modern day times. And so we look at that as well, that there are jobs that are needed for everyone, no matter how some people may consider certain jobs lower than others, maybe make less money than others. And we typically look at money as our division of class in modern times, of how much money a person has or education a person has. But all the things come together and are important and needed in society. All right, guys, this is going to conclude our information on the caste system. I will see you guys soon in another video. Bye.